Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Perry DeCola, the General Manager of Environmental Services for the City of Belleville, and I'm pleased that I can greet you and act as the moderator and MC for today's exciting infrastructure funding announcement. We are here to announce a partnership and funding sources from all three levels of government. I would like to make the following statement. I want to acknowledge that the lands traditionally occupied by Indigenous people, they continue to care for this land. They continue to shape our communities today, and I want to show my respect. Hundreds of years after the first treaties were signed, they're still relevant today. Thank you. I would like to lay out our format. I will introduce each of our esteemed guests and allow them the opportunity to comment before opening the floor for questions from the gallery. To our members of the press, to convey your wish to ask a question, I ask that you send a message to me through the chat feature that states your name and your affiliation, and you'll be called to unmute your mic in order of request. With no further delay, I'm honored to introduce Neil Ellis, Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Agriculture and Agri-Food and Member of Parliament for Bay of Quinte, on behalf of the Honourable Catherine McKenna, Minister of Infrastructure and Communities. MP Ellis.
Thank you, Perry, for the kind introduction, and it's a pleasure to be here. I'm happy to virtually be here with all of you on behalf of Minister McKenna, Federal Minister of Infrastructure and Communities, along with MPP Todd Smith and Councillor Sanderson. Thank you for all participating in today's announcement. As you're well aware, since last March, Canadians have been impacted by the consequences of COVID-19 pandemic. This has not been an easy time for many, but even as the situation continues to evolve, all orders of government across Canada are working together to reduce the impact of the pandemic, to protect lives, to support communities, and to create jobs. It's time to start looking forward again and to do it in a way that makes our communities more livable, more resilient, and more sustainable places to work and raise our families. That's why I'm so pleased to join my colleagues to announce federal support for the rehabilitation of Canafton's stormwater pumping station in Belleville. On behalf of Minister McKenna's behalf, I'm proud to announce that the Government of Canada is providing $562,000 to support this project. Investing in infrastructure is an essential part of our growing of our economy and is central to our recovery through the pandemic. Our government will continue to work closely with provinces, municipalities, and stakeholders to get projects built quickly. Today's announcement is another great example of how working with our partners across the country can make a positive difference in the lives of so many. By investing in community and culture infrastructure today, we're putting a down payment on more connected and resilient communities where Canadians can live, grow, and raise their families for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you, MP Ellis. I am also honored to introduce the Honourable Todd Smith, Ontario Minister of Children, Community and Social Services and Member of Provincial Parliament for Bay of Quinte, on behalf of the Honourable Laurie Scott, Minister of Infrastructure. Minister Smith.
Thanks very much, Perry, and happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Great to be here with my good friend MP O'Neill Ellis and Councillor O. Sanderson as well. And unfortunately, Mayor Panchuk can't join us today, but it is great to be here on behalf of my colleague, the Minister Laurie Scott, and the Ontario government, and on top of the $500,000+ that the federal government is announcing for this project. The government of Ontario is committing over $468,000 in provincial funding for this very important infrastructure project in Belleville. Investments announced today are going to help Belleville's stormwater pumping station make important upgrades, and these improvements are going to help increase Belleville's Canafton stormwater pumping station's ability to reliably move and remove stormwater, and protecting drivers and pedestrians by preventing flooding on streets and sidewalks. And just so you understand the geography of what we're talking about here today, we're talking about the pumping station just south of College Street along Canafton Road along the Moira River. Investments in green infrastructure projects like the one we're celebrating today are vital to communities right across Ontario, and local projects like this one are central to our efforts to create sustainable communities with resilient infrastructure. I'm delighted that Belleville and its residents are going to benefit from our joint investment today. And I think it's really important just to point out that over the last year, during the pandemic, we have worked extremely closely with our federal counterparts like MP Ellis, and also our municipal counterparts like Mayor Panchuk and Councillor Sanderson and the team at Belleville City Hall. And I think you've seen that at every level where all governments have been working together throughout the pandemic. The Investing in Canada infrastructure program is providing up to $30 billion in total project funding for communities across Ontario over 10 years. And this includes over $10 billion from our government at Queen's Park. We're laying the foundation for a strong economic recovery and creating healthy and safe communities across Ontario through our federal-provincial partnership. And again, I'd like to thank Mayor Panchuk for all of his work, and the council as well, our federal partners for their contributions to this infrastructure project, and all of the great staff at City Hall that have been involved in making this possible. So on behalf of my colleague, the Honourable Laurie Scott, Minister of Infrastructure, really pleased to be able to make this announcement for the City of Belleville today.
Thank you, Minister Smith. Mayor Mitch Panchuk is unable to attend this teleconference announcement due to a scheduling conflict, but we're honored to have Councillor Bill Sanderson, a Belleville Ward 2 councillor who is actively engaged with multiple committees and groups for the City of Belleville. Councillor Sanderson.
Thank you, Perry. On behalf of the City of Belleville and Mayor Panchuk, I'd like to deliver the mayor's comments and add a few of my own. So from the mayor, the Canafton Road stormwater pumping station ensures that Canafton Road underpass doesn't flood during storm events. It's been a critical piece of city infrastructure since its construction in 1980. And through this funding, these improvements will go a long way in ensuring it is sustainable for years to come. So we are grateful to both our federal and provincial governments for their assistance. So I would add that, excuse me, the financial assistance through the green stream for this project is welcome across the city. And this asset in particular has performed well beyond its life expectation. So the announcement today is particularly timely as we're in the process of finalizing our 2021 budget. So again, on behalf of the City of Belleville, our thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Sanderson. The City of Belleville was lucky. We were chosen for this green infrastructure funding project. And it's kind of ironic that we're getting it on St. Patrick's Day. A little bit of green money and a little bit of a green infrastructure rehabilitation. But doing this project is going to ensure the health and safety by dealing with our stormwaters effectively, minimizing and maintaining that vital infrastructure link. And it provides us protection against the erosive effects of the water, and it creates jobs and promotes growth to make our community livable. I'm going to open the floor to some questions now. Please note, you'll be allowed one question and one follow-up. If any of the members of the press wish to ask a question, please provide a request in the chat box with your name and affiliation. Well, that's dead air, so I don't see any questions coming up at this time. I will give everyone maybe one more minute before we proceed. Well, it seems that we're done with questions. That was a nice, easy way to get out of that one. I'd like to formally say thank you to all of our senior levels of government for providing us the opportunity to have this announcement. And for all of those people out there that are celebrating St. Patrick's Day today, remember that we're still in COVID time. Oh, just got a question. So, see, I knew if I would chat just a little bit longer, I'd get somebody. So I have Brock Ormond from Inquinty, and I will place you in. Just one moment, Brock. You'll be coming in just one moment, Brock. Can you unmute your microphone, Brock, and please ask your question?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Hi everybody, Neil and Todd and everybody. Yeah, just a simple question. What are the benefits? Like, what are the specific benefits that this money will go to for this project? Like, what benefits will it have for the residents in terms of improvements to their life?
Would everyone mind if I answered that question?
Go ahead, Perry.
Okay. So the improvements that it'll offer the residents of the city of Belleville is that the station right now drains a large portion of our watershed, and it moves that stormwater from the eastern section of the community and allows it to move freely. Without that station being fully active, the potential's there to block off the north-south arterial route on Kennefton under the underpass, which causes all sorts of infrastructure problems and security and emergency response problems for both fire and police getting to certain sections of the city. Also, the potential's there that there could be undermining of the CN infrastructure and municipal roadways and causing backups into personal property.
All right, that's great. Thanks, Perry. And just as a quick follow-up, when is this project slated to be completed, or if it hasn't started yet, when is it going to start taking place?
So would that be addressed to me again?
Yes, probably. Or anyone that can answer it, I guess. Probably.
Okay. So our engineering department, we have been looking at this project for a number of years. We have some preliminary design work that has been completed, and we're moving to the finalized design. Part of our goal is to have everything completed within the next 18 months. So it'll be a fairly tight time frame. It is a very expensive project. It's a lot of taxpayer money that has to be implemented for something that is almost completely unseen. So having our levels of government and the city commitment behind providing money for this particular program has been amazing. This is the ribbon cutting on this is going to be the saddest thing that there is out there because there's not much to see. But with a lot of the things in a municipality, it's the underlying infrastructure that's not very showy. It's not the sizzle to the steak. It's actually the grill that the steak sits on. So we hope to have this done within the next 18 months, but that'll be turned over to our engineering department to complete the finalized phases of planning and implement the construction and rehabilitation program.
All right, that's great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
No problem. Now I will place you back. Okay, so as I started, we seem to be done with questions. I would like to say it seems that we are moving on. This is a great day that we have this funding announcement. It is St. Patrick's Day though. So I want people to remember that we're still in COVID times and conditions. And we ask that people ask responsibly. And remember not to gather in large groups, social distance, wear your masks wherever possible so that we can celebrate it in a better way in the future. I can't wait to raise a glass in friendship in future St. Paddy's Days, and it would be a wonderful opportunity. I thank everyone, and I ask that we take an opportunity for a photo of all speakers with a smile. So if we can have all speakers smile, which is tough for me. If you wish to take a picture, excellent. Thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoy your St. Patrick's Day. Stay safe, and we appreciate all of our levels of government for